Hare Krishna, here I am with my disciple Rabindra. We're here at the Bhaktivedanta Manor in London, UK, planet Earth, universe of the four-headed Brahma. Perhaps you could tell our viewers, how did you come to Krishna consciousness, Rabindra Das?
Gurudev. I think my journey began quite early, and my father used to go to church every Sunday, so I'd go to the Sunday school, and I'd get really absorbed in the Jesus Leela, the Jesus pastimes, and I was very inspired by that. And after some years, I started to lose a bit of interest in that. But not long after, I started to receive Srila Prabhupada's books, so I think I was about 11 years old. And first I had a friend who used to bring me second-hand books from second-hand bookshops, and one of those was Srila Prabhupada's book. And
what book was it?
Oh, the first one, I think, was A Chant and Be Happy. And then at one point, one door-to-door book distributor came past our door, and he was an Eastern European. He could hardly speak any English. This is like in the 70s sometime. So I talked with him, and I gave him a donation and took one book. This is The Path of Perfection, which I still have. And then he came a second time, and I wasn't at home, but my mother invited him in, and she took another book from him, and she was happy to meet him. And so I had these books throughout my teenage years, so at times, just at certain times, I would go to read a little bit, just read a few sentences, and immediately feel so invigorated, so inspired. You know, this seems to be like the absolute truth, everything as it is, that I'd never heard before. And so many, many years later, I eventually met the devotees. But that came about, I was working in Denmark. I went to work with a humanitarian organization in southern China for 6 months. And the evening before going on the plane to China, I went into the library in this school where I was. And the first book I saw was the Bhagavad Gita, as it is. So then I immediately realized that when I was younger, I couldn't really understand so much of the Bhagavad Gita. I was at that age too young. But now I thought, now I can understand it. So when I went to China, I was just reading and reading over and over again. I think I read it cover to cover maybe 10 times during the 6 months. And also I happened to have some Tulsi beads. I'd been doing some Hanuman puja, chanting Hanuman Gayatri on Tulsi beads, so I had the beads. Then when I started reading Gita again, then Srila Prabhupada is saying just chant Hare Krishna, so I started chanting Hare Krishna in China, and very quickly things started to change for me. So by the time I went back to Denmark, many things had changed. My whole consciousness had shifted. And also during this time in China, I'd been looking for Krishna conscious websites, and of course in China many of websites to do with religion and politics, they're all banned. But there was one website that had come through, and that was backtohome.com.
I wasn't banned in China, my site.
Banned, that one. So I downloaded everything from the website thinking that maybe tomorrow it would be gone. And then actually I asked you a few questions at that time, Gurudev, over the website. So when I got back to Denmark, then one time in Copenhagen temple, I was just in the temple, and it was announced the Srimad Bhagavatam class will be given by His Grace Sankarshan Dasadikari. So I thought,
Oh, you attended my class in Copenhagen.
So that was inspiring, but after that class I was still too nervous to approach, to ask any further questions though I wanted to. And then the next thing I ended up here just by chance at Bhaktivedanta Manor. I actually came to visit the Goshala to see the cows here, and I'm still here after 9 years.
You came to see the cows and you never left?
I never left. I couldn't leave. It was
That's
just
wonderful.
Too good. And of course everything was here in English language, so I attended the few courses that they have here at the Manor, and just morning programs, chanting, hearing, this whole process, and traveling a little bit, traveling Sankirtan, Harinams, so many things. And so then Srila Gurudev was always passing through London on his transits, and he used to go to the Soho Temple, in London Temple, to give Gita class. So then I became driver, driving between the temple and the place where they were staying. So then this relationship built up. So now it's flowered into this, where I'm now initiated devotee, continuing chanting, continuing hearing, and experiencing the bliss, experiencing the purification when it comes. But it certainly is a very blissful process, and I believe it's a complete, absolute process that we should be following. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. That's what I think. So,
Thank you very much, Rabindra Das Brahmachari, for sharing with us that wonderful history of your coming to Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.